tuned in to the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
You realize what you've done?
With Rich Liebig.
The real gangster plays his cards, right?
And Michael Costanzo.
What was that you just read?
Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news.
Good times, noodle salad.
The point is, you now have the ability to be happy.
And now, here's Rich and Mike on the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
Woo! Yeah! How you guys doing?
What's up, everybody?
It's time for this week's episode of the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news, folks. It's our job to give you the most interesting bits in world sports, entertainment, odd news, and whatever else we happen to stumble across. Isn't that right, Mike?
That's right. We bring it to you with our unique sense of humor and wackiness. You never know what you're going to get here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
That's right. We have a couple topics prepared for you, but that doesn't mean we won't go off the beaten path. Have some fun along this weekly podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's a very busy time of the year, so we appreciate everyone listening and staying up to date on the podcast. This is a hard fact. I don't know who needs to hear it, but I'm definitely one of them. Mikey informed me that next week is already Christmas, basically.
Not basically, it is.
Yeah, so,
I mean, if you're listening to this, I mean, it's basically it's a week away when you guys are listening to this. Basically, yeah. So while you're driving around, finishing up all the last minute shopping, as I know many of us do, pop on the podcast.
Yeah, well, definitely do so, but definitely panic mode.
Well, I mean,
if you haven't started.
I actually finished all of my Christmas shopping.
I hate you. I hate you so much.
All the gifts are wrapped.
I hate you. I hate Why? Why are you like this?
It's all because of my girlfriend. She's amazing.
That makes sense.
So she's been doing all the wrapping. I mean, I helped the shopping before, we did it in like mid-November. We're not dealing with all the hubbub and the shipping issues. So we did all before Thanksgiving, but she's been wrapping everything and making ornaments and a whole bunch of other stuff. And I just work day and night.
Oh, poor Mike's just a poor boy. Nobody loves him.
He's just a poor boy from a poor family.
Spare him his wallet.
Really?
Needs
Yeah.
to save some money.
Christmas
easy come, easy go.
Last week I said slapping babies is expensive. This week buying Christmas gifts is expensive.
That can be expensive.
Almost as expensive as slapping babies.
Almost, yes, as we learned from last week's episode.
If you don't know what we're talking about, check out the last episode of the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
Yeah,
shameless plug.
Oof, boy, that was an interesting episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know I gotta finish my Christmas list. I started it, but I haven't finished it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Rich, it's late in the game.
I know. I didn't realize until you pointed it out.
I hope you realize you cannot get anything shipped, basically.
Please, Amazon, help me.
Maybe some Amazon Prime things, but
in Amazon Prime, I trust.
Rich is denouncing Ghost and now taking up the religion of Jeff Bezos.
Hold on. No, I'll still keep Ghost. They're both forms of Satan, so it's great.
So that is true.
Yeah,
that is
very
true.
good. Very good. So other than shopping woes and gift giving, Mike, how you doing? What's up in Costanzo country?
I'm good. I got boosted recently, so I have the upgraded 5G.
Yep.
I can get signals from further away. It's great.
There you go.
My magnetism is off the charts as well. So,
right.
But other than that, I finished. Did I talk briefly about the Forgotten City last week? I think. So I finished the game before I gave a preemptive review. Now I'm giving like an actual
review.
The full review. After completing it, got all 4 endings. There's 4 different endings you can get. It's a fantastic little game. Probably only runs about 12 to 15 hours. And again, I did every ending. I didn't use a strategy guide to get any of the puzzles. It's a really smart game. The way that they have you use the time loops and how you use the information you gather in each time loop to influence the next go around that you have. And I found myself throughout the game, using the system to its full advantage. If I knew that I needed an item, I'm like, well, I'm just going to steal this item from this person and, jump off a cliff basically and reset the time loop. And so it encourages play like that, like creative rule breaking and creative system breaking in order to get ahead in the game. It's really fascinating, and I know especially you, Rich, would love this game. And I think it's available digitally on PlayStation 4, but I think it's on all major consoles and PC. So I highly recommend it. I give it like a solid 9 out of 10.
Wow.
Like it kept my attention. It kept my girlfriend's attention. You know, I'd put on the game and she's like, "You're going to play it?" You know, I can't watch. And I'm like, "Well, I want to play the game." And she said, "Well, don't play it without me." It's one of those games where it even draws in the people around it, because every time you go through the loop, the characters don't remember you, but you remember them. So the dialogue changes each time. And the things that you can reveal to them or choose not to reveal to them to get them to react and do things the way that you want them to is really interesting.
All right, so there you go. Video game review, The Forgotten City.
Yeah, go check it out.
All right, there you go.
So that's what I've been up to.
right.
What have you been up to?
My spiel has to be Succession. Succession season 3 finale was this past Sunday.
Is it still the best show on TV?
Yes, hands down. I'm not kidding. The writing is just so fantastic. The twists are just amazing. It's the best written show on TV. All these characters are so evil, and I love it, every bit of it. And it's just I want more. But the sad part is we've finished season 3 now, so we got to wait until probably now 2023 for season 4.
So there is going to be a season 4 then.
Yeah, season 4 got greenlit already, so that's already in the bag, but they haven't started writing it at all yet.
Oh, wow.
So it's probably going to be a whole year-long process.
Okay.
But folks, you got to check it out. It's the best show on TV, period. I will go toe-to-toe and fight anybody else.
I completely agree. It's one of I haven't watched season 3 yet, and I'm really upset. But hopefully,
you're one of those you can't stand the weekly releases now.
The weekly
you would
releases,
rather just wait till it all comes out. And now
exactly.
Well, now it has all come out now, so now you can go on a 9-hour binge watch.
I might have to do that over the Christmas break when I have some time. I'll sit down, I'll watch that. Hopefully, catch up on some Sopranos, because I watched the prequel, which spoiled something major for me. But I avoided spoilers for like 20 years.
Yeah.
Watch a movie. The first line's like, "Here's the major plot point from the end of the series." I'm like, "Thank you, HBO."
Whoops.
And Rich.
Yeah.
No,
it's not that. It's not too.
I mean,
it's big, but it's not
look,
like
the characters are bad guys. They're mobsters. Stuff is going to happen to them.
Yeah, it doesn't kill the whole Sopranos
because
vibe.
the question is still, how do they get to that point?
Right.
And that's still a compelling narrative.
So yeah, you're
Anyway.
fine on that. But for Succession, I'll just leave it at that because I don't want to spoil it for Mikey and for other people who haven't seen all 9 episodes of season 3. But do it as fast as you can.
When I watch it, we'll review it in full.
Yes, because the acting is just top tier. The writing is top tier. It's just I'm in love with this show. I don't know any. I don't think any show in this current landscape tops it.
No, none come to my mind, other than maybe Better Call Saul, but that's never coming back.
No, it's coming back. The man, Bob Odenkirk had a heart attack.
I know he did. I'd rather him be healthy than get Better Call Saul, but I forget.
You sounded a little bit, but maybe if he dies and I get a couple episodes.
No. The problem is that I forget
you had
what
a really
happens.
big butt there.
But
yeah.
No. Obviously,
it's the last season.
Wait, is it?
Better Call Saul is definitely ending after season 6. Yeah.
Okay. No, I want Bob Odenkirk to be healthy because he's a fantastic talent.
Yeah. Okay, so there you go. TV, movie, video game talk right there, but we'll have more in the entertainment entree, including, I know, a big movie release that Mike is going to want to talk about. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But right now, we're going to jump into the world of sports with the Sports Sampler.
So you're not good at sports. It's a very small part of life. Sports.
In your face. Ha ha!
Sports coming at you in your face, and we're going to hit a couple topics in 2 minutes or less. 2 minutes or less with the 2-minute drill. It sounded like I was about to panic, maybe because this is a panic or not to panic situation here in the 2-minute drill.
Oh no!
So there we go. What topics are we panicking about?
That's right, folks. It's Panic or No Panic edition. We have a couple of panic-inducing topics here. First, There are currently, at the time of this recording, 75 positive COVID tests in the NFL. The most this season at any given time, including some of the Omicron variant.
Damn it, Washington.
The Washington football team, it had to be them. So that means many players might be missing games this weekend. And unlike last season, the NFL is not delaying or postponing games, so they're just going to carry on without these players. I mean, that's potentially, 75 players. That's a roster and a half, basically. That's a lot of people. Rich, panic or no panic?
At the end of the day, I'm not going to panic because, like the NFL has previously decreed, they refuse to delay or postpone any sort of game. So whether you like it or not, the games are happening.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I don't think this is quite a panic. It is an alarming situation, but I don't know if it's a panic situation because if they can contain it, which it seems like they're not able to do currently, so if it keeps getting worse, maybe it evolves to panic. But right now, if it just stays where it is and they quarantine those players, life in the NFL will go on.
Yeah.
But where life will not continue, Rich? Major League Baseball. They are currently facing a lockout since the Players Association couldn't reach an agreement with the league regarding a new CBA. Rich, panic or no panic?
This is on the verge of panic. I hate to say this.
Okay.
Not jumping off of a cliff yet. Because really that'll come down in like February when spring training could be threatened. But this is not a good look for baseball. Baseball is already slumping in terms of the big four sports. Major League Soccer actually came out with an announcement saying that they want to overtake Major League Baseball. So better watch out, MLB. They're coming for you.
Wow, the buzzer might be sounding on Major League Baseball, especially if they let soccer catch up to them. I mean, look, here's the deal with baseball. It's kind of boring, right? I mean, let's all be honest. It's kind of boring.
All right, fantastic. Wow, there you go. Mike just cut it dry.
So they're going to lock out. I mean, you're already taking something boring and making it even more boring. This might be the death knell for Major League Baseball. I kid. This is, for me, the same thing as the previous one. It is alarming, but no panic. A backroom deal is going to happen. It's all going to get ironed out. These big four sports, they know there's more money to be made by getting along. It's all for show, basically. It's all posturing. They'll get it done.
It is. And I'm sure baseball will have a regular season and everything. But I think in just terms of optics and
in terms of
legacy,
optics, it's bad.
This is not a good look for Major League Baseball, especially with soccer trying to climb their ways to being one of the big four sports. And they specifically said, we're coming for baseball.
That's pretty bad when when one sport calls out an entire other sport.
League, yeah.
That's not good. They're like, we're coming for them because they're low-hanging fruit.
Yep.
You're right. That's a big, bad statement.
Yeah.
But you know what else the optics are bad on is this first topic that we have here. You wanted to talk about this. There's lots of stuff pissing us off in sports this week. Is this kind of an impromptu what's pissing me off segment?
I guess it's impromptu. You know what? Why not? We can
do it. You're mad.
Yeah.
And it's element left and element right. Come on, let me get your right step right. Get off stage, goddamn goof, piss me off. And jerk. Get on my nerves.
Yes, it's an impromptu what's pissing me off segment here. Two items here that I'm not exactly keen on. The first one, I think you may have guessed it, was the Thursday night game between the Steelers and the Vikings. Young star wide receiver Chase Claypool decided to celebrate his catch that completed a first down by doing the first down sign that the referee makes. But unfortunately, they were in the middle of a 2-minute drill with his team having no timeouts left, meaning that his celebration effectively wasted about 7, 8, possibly 9 or 10 seconds off of the clock in a 2-minute drill.
Now, I can hear people who don't follow football. What is 7 to 10 seconds? That's not much. Let me tell you something, guys.
That gives you a play or two.
That's exactly. If it's a short, quick route, that's easily 2 plays in the NFL. So, if it comes down to it and you end up on the 5-yard line and you don't have enough time to punch it in the end zone, there's that play right there, those 10 seconds.
Yep, just this guy celebrating and doing the first down mechanism dance.
Mechanism.
Whatever that.
Signal,
thank you. Whatever the hell you call it.
a mechanism, apparently.
Yes, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. The point is he did that and wasted time, which brings me to just another point. This is kind of more the thing that pisses me off. Don't celebrate. There shouldn't. If I was a head coach for an NFL team,
Yeah.
I would yell at my players, "You do not effing celebrate unless we're up like 4 scores or something.
Yeah.
You only celebrate when the game is over or we're really so far ahead that it's, effectively over."
I don't mind celebrations for things like, it's all contextual. If it's a close game and you get a big turnover that swings the momentum, like right before the end of the half, you're getting the ball back in the second half, and you force a turnover, in the opponent's territory within striking distance, sure, celebrate. If you score a big touchdown and the game is close, or you're taking the lead for the first time in the game, sure, celebrate. I see players that get a tackle for a loss.
Yeah.
And
What's up with that?
And they're dancing and acting like they just won like a decathlon or something.
Yeah.
It's no, you tackled a player for a loss and you're down by double digits. Calm down, get back to your side of the ball.
Oh, yeah. I love it. I love it when someone, like the Bears, they get a sack on Rodgers and they start doing a dance. And Rodgers is like, we're up by 3 scores.
Right.
That doesn't... Good for you. You tacked on a sack onto your stats.
Are we just being grumpy old men with this?
I don't think so. I think this is stupid. This is honestly something that...
This is something that's always... I've known you a long time. It's always pissed you off.
Yeah.
With, celebrating.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
The ultimate show-off is the score. That
right.
To me, that's what matters. Not, you got 10 sacks or you got 400 yards passing.
The problem at the professional level is that a lot of these players, they're in it individually. People always say, oh, they're in to win championships. I don't really believe that. I believe at the professional level, most players there view it as a job.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess many of them want to win championships. I think the majority of them are just content to make their millions of dollars and essentially play a kid's game
Jay
for
Cutler.
fun. Exactly.
Jay Cutler.
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins.
Punk ass bitch.
Whoa, hey, all right. Now Mike's pissed off. All right.
Anyway, no, we're not getting on Kirk Cousins again. But yeah, players should not really celebrate like that, given the context of games. If you're ahead, if it's a momentum swinger, if you're taking the lead back in a close game, sure, celebrate. But if you're down, or if you're bad, if you're the Texans or the Jets, you shouldn't be celebrating. There's nothing to celebrate. If you're the Texans or the Jets, yeah. So
poor Jets. Do you realize the Jets had a chance to seriously think about it? Knowing now what we know this season, they seriously could have had the Mac Jones, and now Mac Jones is looking like Rookie of the Year with Bill Belichick.
But here's the thing, though. Mac Jones on the Jets would not be Mac Jones that he is now. That's the problem with bad teams. When they're bad through to the core.
Yeah, there's no saving.
If Tom Brady went to the Jets, maybe they win a handful. Just because of Tom Brady, they maybe win 7 or 8 games. But it doesn't mean that they're going to be good.
Oh, that's surprising coming from you, who's a secret Brady fan.
Sure.
But nevertheless, I guess you're right. No, that does make sense. But it just seems like the Jets they're just cursed. It's whatever team, whatever person they choose in the draft, whatever
some organizations
coaching they go, it never works out.
Some organizations are just bad organizations.
Yeah,
they just can't do anything right.
Right. So there you go. The Jets have nothing to celebrate. I don't want to see a single celebration from the Jets.
That's right. Just sit on the bench looking all sullen and grumpy.
Yeah.
That's right. If you're a Jets fan, too. That's how you should watch the games.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Okay. So that was one thing in the NFL that was pissing me off. Another thing that's pissing me off is the NFL has announced that they are going to do something that, as far as I know, has not happened in recent times during the final week of the regular season. And that is the fact that the NFL will hold 2 Saturday games during Week 18 of this extra long season. But this is kind of a boneheaded move, in my opinion, because the whole reason why you want to play all of your games on the same day when it's the last weekend of the season is because you don't want teams to know that you don't want teams to know whether or not they've been eliminated from the playoffs due to past games that are starting earlier.
Right.
So now the NFL is forcing itself to hold 2 Saturday games the Saturday before the final Sunday of the season. It could work out that maybe there won't be a scenario where the 2 games on Saturday won't influence the Sunday games. It could happen, but I still think that's a really weird and unnecessary risk that the NFL is taking with this announcement that they want to hold 2 Saturday games the final week 18 of the NFL season.
Yeah.
I mean, this is also why there's no Monday night game.
Right.
That's literally the whole reason why there's not a Monday night game.
They don't want to suck all of the energy and the stakes out of it.
Right. So I don't know. I find this announcement very weird coming from the NFL scheduling office that they're going to hold 2 games on the Saturday of the final week, week 18.
My bet would be that they're going to flex bad teams, bad matchups to that Saturday matchup. I don't know.
So
I'm
it's
torn.
really they're just going to pull
They're going to pull the Jets
matter.
and we're going to pull the Jets and they're like, you suck. You're playing at 1 on a Saturday when nobody's going to be around to watch. But here's the flip side of that is that they might try and put good teams on the Saturday to try and capture more airtime, more ad revenue. What they want to do is they want to own the weekend.
Yeah.
And they have to wait until college football is done in order to move into that Saturday time slot.
Which, by the way, they're already going to do this weekend. There's a Saturday game this weekend.
Yeah, there are. There are 2 Saturday games this weekend.
Yep.
We'll be getting to one of them shortly. But I agree with you that this is kind of boneheaded for the reason of competition. If people are wondering how are you guys making this assumption, think back to the early 2000s when, for instance, us Eagles fans remember Andy Reid sitting the starters the last 2-3 weeks of the season because they'd already won the division. The NFL changed scheduling so that all of the division games are usually backloaded in the schedule now so that teams are forced to play their full 16, 17 games. I remember back in the day,
Yep.
remember they didn't used to backload those division games.
No, matter of fact, what was it? There was a season where Peyton Manning and the Colts went 13-0.
And then they sat him.
And they benched him. They benched him the last 3 games. They're like, we don't want to take a risk of him getting hurt.
Because there were no division games, so it didn't matter. And if you notice
and
recently...
by the way, they lost in the first round of that playoff.
There's something to be said about staying warmed up.
Yep.
But if you notice the past, I would say maybe like the past 10 years or so, they've really made an effort to push division games. Look at the Eagles' end of their schedule. What is it, 3 or 4 division games? Yeah, 4 division games in a row.
Yep.
So for people wondering, if the NFL is cognizant of this, they are, because they've made scheduling changes to make those final weeks more exciting. So this kind of undoes that a little bit. I agree.
Yeah. So I don't know what the internal hope is
to capture more airtime.
Well, I mean,
it's
that,
plain and simple, yeah.
But I mean, in terms of the integrity of the schedule, because really what you're hoping for is a game that would decide a wild card, like a 5 or 6 wild. You can't have it be one that determines whether or not a team gets knocked out of the playoff.
Right.
So you don't want it to be one that affects the 7th seed.
Right.
But if it's something that maybe affects the seeding between a 5 and a 6,
right,
it just seems so minuscule. The hope.
Yeah, it's
I
weird.
I don't know if the NFL is going to get what they're hoping for.
We'll have to see how they flex things. Because it'll be interesting if they do something that has major playoff implications on a Saturday. What does that mean for the Sunday games? Do we see all of a sudden, a whole bunch of second and third stringers take the field on Sunday?
Yeah,
you given the matchups,
right? That's not good. That's not what you want. You want as many question marks and possibilities going into Sunday.
Right.
So this decision befuddles me. I want to know what exactly the NFL is hoping for with this announcement.
Money.
Well, I mean, besides the obvious answers.
I know, yeah.
I'm trying in terms of the actual integrity of the season.
In terms of the integrity of the season and competition, I would hope that they push either an opponent who's already locked up the number 1 seed to Saturday, to be they already have it figured out, their game doesn't matter, or push Jags and Jets and Houston Texans to Saturday to get them out of the way.
But then really going to want to watch they'll 2 bottom teams? See, that's why I think it has to be like some sort of playoff seeding implication, but nothing that would eliminate a team.
Right. I mean, I'm sure, given all the division matchups that last week, I'm sure they can find something.
Yeah.
Whether it has playoff implications or whether it's just a heated division rivalry, I'm sure they'll find something that won't mess it up too much. But it is an odd situation that shouldn't be.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'll tell you what. With that announcement, it's better for them to have a 7th seed. And I know you didn't like when they announced that the playoffs were going to be expanding, but that makes so much sense that they now have kind of more. There's more of a breadth of range to go with a 17 with 7 playoff teams in each conference versus 6.
Right.
So I think that helps its chances of this bet. I feel like this is a bet, because they're really hoping for like a specific kind of game to come out for Week 18.
Yeah.
So it could happen, but it'll be very interesting if it doesn't, because then I don't know what you do with this announcement. Do you stick just 2 bottom feeders into the slot? I don't know.
I mean, at the end of the day, they're going to get people watching those games. They're going to make money on a Saturday. I don't know. It's just odd to me. You can make. I don't know.
Well, speaking of predicting the future, it's also time to get to some new Fantastic Four picks. We haven't done this in a while.
Yeah.
I just realized
you don't have the music ready, do you?
Well, yeah, we haven't done it in a while, but largely we didn't do it last week because the Eagles were on a bye week.
Where are my Eagles?
What was that?
Yes, a new sound clip for you.
Where are my Eagles?
Yes, where are my Eagles?
Where are my Eagles?
Well, they're back this week.
Yes, they are.
Don't worry about that.
Where are my Eagles?
Yes, there you go. We'll get to them at the end of the Fantastic Four picks, but let's kick off those Fantastic Four picks.
Where are my Eagles?
Yeah,
well, they're not
coming up.
They're not playing on Saturday. That's right. The first Saturday game we got here. It is an AFC playoff preview. We have the New England Patriots at the Indianapolis Colts. Rich, who do you think is going to take this one? This is a classic rivalry back from the days of Brady and Manning. Obviously, we have 2 new quarterbacks with each of these teams. Who's going to win this matchup?
Oh, this is the highlight of the slate. I have no idea. I honestly don't.
I do. You know it's the Patriots, and I'll tell you why. That stacked defense, Carson Wentz is not going to be able to keep up with them. The Patriots are winning games only throwing 2-3 passes. They got a great rush attack. They got, again, that dominant defense. The Colts are sitting at 7-6, and they look like a 7-6 team.
They
So
are.
I'm going with the Patriots, even on the road.
They are, but I'll tell you what, the Colts defense is very formidable as well. You have 2 top-tier defenses going off against each other here. And usually in a situation like that, I would say look towards the quarterbacks. But there's another startling difference here, and that's with the Colts running back. Jonathan Taylor has quickly ascended to being one of the top 3 running backs in this league. He looks unstoppable when he hits the hole. It's been crazy to see him run. I mean, he's pretty much like a lock to score a touchdown every week. I don't know if anybody is doing prop betting, but that's been one of the safest bets you can make this entire season. He finds the end zone. It's crazy how that's been reliable. This is a big game. I don't know if I can trust the rookie quarterback in this. I don't know. I like the Colts at home a little bit here.
Okay. Wow. That's interesting.
I think it might be just a little too much, and the Colts are going to be more desperate too. If they lose this game, they're going to be on the outside looking in. It's going to be a rough road for them to try and make the playoffs.
That's true.
This is definitely a huge spot that they need to come out with a victory on. I think there's just certain intangibles here that line up more for the Colts in this game.
Okay, interesting difference of opinion there on that Saturday game. Maybe we'll see the same thing here with 2 big teams from the North. We have the NFC North leaders, the Green Bay Packers, facing off against the AFC North leaders in the Baltimore Ravens. Rich, who do you have winning this one?
On this one, I'm going all cheese. I'm going Packers. Yeah, I mean, Aaron Rodgers, we talk about Tom Brady being a cheat code. Aaron Rodgers has been a cheat code, too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, literally, the game last week, they were asleep like the first 20 minutes of game time. And then Aaron Rodgers looked up at the scoreboard, realized he was down 10 points, and was like, I guess I should probably try. And proceeded to score 3 touchdowns. One at the end of the half, and then 2 within 5 minutes of the third quarter. I mean, the Packers are just a team that,
mind you,
you blink and you feel like you missed like a whole segment of the game. Like, what just happened?
And mind you, Rodgers doesn't even want to play for the Packers.
Yeah,
and he's playing that way. Meanwhile, the Ravens have really had a rough go of it this season, where the past couple of years they've looked really dominant. This year, teams are figuring them out, and Lamar Jackson is not as formidable as he once was. Yes, he's putting up the stats, but they're sitting at 8-5 in an arguably weak division.
Also, well, I don't know about a weak division, but also, I think the more pertinent news is Lamar Jackson has a ankle sprain. Ankle sprain.
Well, there you go. That basically seals the deal.
He'll be playing, but I don't know if he'll be as confident running around.
A running quarterback with a leg injury, foot injury.
Yeah.
It's Packers here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. Both of us love the cheese. Let's talk about this one, though, a push for the playoffs. Speaking of that AFC North, we have another AFC North team struggling to stay alive. The Cincinnati Bengals are at the Denver Broncos on this Sunday 4 o'clock game. Both of these teams sitting at 7-6, looking for a way into the playoffs. I think right now they're 7th and 8th or somewhere thereabouts. Rich, this could very well decide who ends up in the AFC playoffs. Who do you have winning this one?
Yeah, this is a shame for the Bengals. The Bengals started off this season red hot. At one point, they were the number 1 seed in the AFC.
Yeah,
I think it was around week 5 or 6, around there. They've
been slowly slipping.
Yeah, so in terms of momentum, it's not looking good for the Bengals. But when it comes to the Broncos, I'm still perplexed by their team identity. I have no idea what they're exactly trying to do on offense with Teddy Bridgewater and their running game. Like, it's like sometimes they want to be a run-heavy team, sometimes they want to rely on Teddy, and I don't know. I feel like it's not exactly the best unit out on the field that they can put out there. Yeah, I tend to side more with the flamboyant Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon. He's another top-tier running back. Bengals also still have a quality defense. I think the Bengals have a chance to save their season, and they're going to take it. I think they win this one here in Denver.
I actually like the home team here. Mm-hmm. The Broncos, nobody expected them to be this good. They sort of started off kind of in the middle, and they've slowly held on to this above-average record. The Bengals and also the Broncos playing a really tough division as well, with the Chargers and the Chiefs. The Bengals play in a tough division, but all of those teams are sitting around 8-5, 7-6, 6-7. They're all sort of right there on that average line.
I think they're all just cannibalizing each other.
I think they're just cannibalizing each other?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I still like the Broncos at home. The Bengals have been slipping and sliding like we talked about. I'm going with the home team. The safe bet here.
Okay.
And finally, we have our very own hometown Philadelphia Eagles hosting the COVID-ridden Washington football team, who will remain unnamed forever, apparently. These two teams are sitting at 6-7, almost, I think they are tied for second in the division, the worst division in football.
Yep.
Who's going to inevitably make the playoffs, Rich? The Washington football team or the Philadelphia Eagles? Because this game could decide who sneaks in at number 7.
Well, not yet, because the Eagles actually have to face them again in 2 weeks.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. So I'm going to say they split the series, and let's give this one to the Eagles. Let's give the first one to the Eagles, coming off of the bye week.
I think really that's the only thing they got going for them. We're coming off the bye week. We have the #1 rushing attack, but it's mostly because of Hurts.
Yeah.
You take out Hurts, and the running backs are above average. But I think at home, after the bye, Nick Sirianni's first bye week ever, hopefully he spent it preparing for Washington.
Or trimming up the neck beard.
Or did you see that? People are complaining that it's like trimmed too high.
Too high.
It is too high.
Yeah, you got Nick Sirianni. Someone tell Nick Sirianni, you gotta have a little bit down here.
Right, you have to have a little bit under the chin and along the jawline. All of it's like above the jawline. It's weird.
Yeah, it's way too high. Stop doing that.
I don't know if I trust him because of that facial hair.
Yeah, matter of fact, go with Washington now.
Go with Washington. No, I'm still going to go with the Eagles, but reluctantly so. I think it's going to be a tough game despite everything we're talking about. So there we go. We both go Eagles, and that wraps up for the Fantastic Four picks for Week 15.
All right, there you go. Fantastic Four picks coming back after a little time on hiatus there. But yeah, it'll be good to have Eagles games to watch again for the next 4 weeks. We'll see how well they do to finish out the season. But for right now, that will wrap up the Sports Sampler. We'll take a little bit of a break, but don't go anywhere because we still got the entertainment entree with a big movie that Mike is definitely going to want to talk to everyone about.
That's right.
Yep. And then the non-fortune cookie odd news. I've got some crazy stories that you need to hear, so don't go anywhere. Don't touch any knobs. Don't do anything. We'll be right back here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
Ready for the weekend? Happy Friday. Hi, my name's Marie, and I'm an artist who's been making Happy Friday doodles every week for over 7 years. And now you can own my art collection in this Volume 1 and Volume 2 art series. These doodles span across multiple themes, yearly festivities, various countries, languages, and more. Both coffee table books have something for everyone and are the perfect conversation starter or gift for a friend. Really, anyone who enjoys a good weekend. Available on Amazon, Ingram, BookBaby, Barnes & Noble, and more. Visit happyfridaydoodles.com/books and get your copies today. Let's celebrate the best day of the week. Happy Friday.
If you go to Taco Bell at 3 a.m, this is what you're going to get. Yeah,
That clip is already coming into play.
Yes, already. So there you go.
Stop.
What happened?
The thing went on.
Well, how did that turn on?
I don't know. The fart sound.
The fart sound turned Amazon on?
I think the fart sound turned on my Echo.
What the
I
hell?
don't know. It turned on.
What are you doing, Jeff Bezos? What are you into?
Basically, he's listening to fart sounds.
He's listening to our fart sounds. Oh, my God.
I changed the trigger word to fart. I got to fart at it now. I don't know what happened.
That's really awkward. You're going to have to... Excuse me.
Excuse me. How can I help you?
You may need some bowel.
Do you want me to automatically order you Pepto-Bismol? I don't know why. I don't know why I'm talking to it solely through farts now.
It actually, you fart into it.
Fart once for yes and twice for no.
No. Actually, you fart into the device, and then
Yeah.
Amazon can determine what medicine you need.
Oh, right. Wow. That's next level right there. Or what you've been eating and what you want to reorder. I detect Cheetos. Would you like to subscribe?
Would you like a bulk order of Cheetos?
Oh, yes, please.
Cheetos ordered.
Cheetos. That story took a turn.
Yeah.
Cheetos ordered.
Okay. All right. There you go. The latest from Jeff Bezos and Amazon.
It's amazing technology, I tell you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we're back here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast. We are done the sports sampler, our little personal bit there. Good first half of the show underway. We're now moving into some entertainment entree and odd news.
That's right. Act 2.
Act 2, that's right. Before we do, Mike was pointing out that this is the Barry song.
Yes.
He wants to have a constant update on Barry. Barry's shooting right now, so
well, the last season came out like 4 years ago.
You really are a slave now to binge watching.
I forget what happens in TV shows. If I go back to Barry now, I'm gonna be like, "Who are these people? I don't know these people. Who the hell is Bill Hader?" If I go back to Better Call Saul, I'm like, I don't remember anything.
Well, I hope you don't do that with Succession. You need to watch Succession.
Luckily, I watched that way more recently, so hopefully that'll be fresh in my head.
Okay, good. Keep up the good work.
Oh, all right.
All right.
Hard at work at remembering TV shows.
Yes, and the next segment here where we're going to go over some movie, TV, video game news. It's time for the entertainment entree.
And now, the latest in movies.
The Simpson guy writes to movies. Dear Die Hard, you rock. Especially when that guy was on the roof.
Music.
I know what that is. That's music.
Video games.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
Celebrities.
You really know Warren Beatty?
Yes, I do. I took a leak next to him once at the Golden Globes.
And more.
You were the all-singing, all-dancing crap of the world.
This is the entertainment entree.
Oh, yeah, entertainment entree time. Yeah, so, I was just thinking of something, too.
Okay.
Just real quick before we get into other, the rest of the things that we had planned.
Right.
Have you noticed that now, this might be a topic for when we have Nena on next week or something, but people are now trying to really stretch out the whole Christmas movie dilemma. Like, they're trying to...
The whole Christmas movie dilemma. What are you talking about? The dilemma?
People are trying to claim, like, almost anything is like a Christmas movie now.
Oh.
Like, I saw an article that said Harry Potter is a Christmas movie.
No.
That's a hard no.
Are we going to have to talk about Die Hard again?
Well, look, we'll get to that. We'll probably get to it next week. Maybe Nana, one of us, can set us straight. But I'm here to just. It sparked me when I just saw movies.
Okay.
Just FYI, it came to me too randomly. There's a difference between a movie being a Christmas movie and a movie that happens to take place during Christmas or has a Christmas arc or a Christmas scene or something like that. That is not a Christmas movie. Even though I will defend it to death. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Eyes Wide Shut is a Christmas movie. I will not say, though, Harry Potter is a Christmas movie.
Harry Potter is unequivocally not a Christmas movie.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Answer me this. If Christmas did not exist in the wizarding world of Harry Potter, could you have the story of Harry Potter?
Absolutely.
Period. End of argument.
Yes. So
if you can have the entirety of the universe without Christmas being a factor, it's not a Christmas movie.
So I'll tell you what. I think this is something we absolutely 100% agree on. If the movie cannot take place without Christmas, it is it is a Christmas movie.
Ask yourself this, and I would argue a lot of Christmas movies actually should not be Christmas movies. Die Hard is more a Christmas movie than movies that are labeled as Christmas movies. Answer me this, Rich. What makes a movie about princesses swapping places with commoners such a huge subgenre in the Christmas movie genre? What about those movies makes them Christmas? Now, answer me this. Would Die Hard happen without the holiday of Christmas?
No.
The inciting incident, we'll get into it next week.
Yes. So I
put a pin in that.
Right. I would just
but
like
think about that, folks. The inciting incident of movies. Would certain Christmas movies be possible without the holiday, and would Die Hard be possible without
Yes.
the holiday?
So I would just like to put a little teaser out there that we're probably gonna go into depth in this next week. Maybe possibly Nana, the next episode with Nana, but just folks, Harry Potter's not a Christmas movie. I don't know where
who said this?
I don't know.
Is it the online folk?
No, you know what it is? It's one of those streaming. I think it might have been Peacock. Whatever streaming service. Has
I don't
Harry
trust a
Potter.
streaming service that breaks every 4 episodes of The Office.
No, whatever streaming service has Harry Potter, they listed Harry Potter as a Christmas movie, and everybody was tweeting about it.
Get the hell out of here.
It is not a Christmas movie.
This is highly upsetting.
And another one was like Catch Me If You Can. I love Catch.
What?
Yeah, I love the movie Catch Me If You Can. That's one of my favorite movies. But that is not a Christmas movie. It happens to have some of the scenes set during Christmas, but like Mike says, it is not integral to the actual plot of the movie. So
this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. So we might do this next week.
Is any movie with snow a Christmas movie? Is
right?
Is the animated movie Ice Age a Christmas movie?
Yeah.
I can't think of any other ones, but that's just asinine.
Yeah. Is Cool Runnings a Christmas movie? There's snow in it.
Is Cool Runnings yeah. Is
Yeah.
Miracle on Ice a Christmas movie? There's ice and ice skating. That's Christmas.
Yeah, so we're gonna probably have a major discussion about this next week. So I just wanted to give you a little teaser on it. But I saw that on Twitter this past week, and it fried my circuits. I couldn't believe people were trying to. It's like I gave people an inch trying to, we gave people an inch with doing Die Hard and Eyes Wide Shut being Christmas movies. Now they want the whole yard. Now anything's a Christmas movie. No, we're gonna have some boundaries.
Give it back. Give back the yard.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that next week. So we'll get into that.
Yeah, put a pin in that.
How about we get the stuff that is not Christmassy and get into things that are happening this upcoming week before Christmas with movie releases and TV releases in Mike's This Week in Entertainment. Well, yeah, that's right. There's definitely not. You should not be in Christmas movie mode because there's a big movie release happening this week.
That's right, there is, and we're going to get to that in just a little bit. I'm going to change things up here and instead hold off on talking about that movie to instead talk about a video game real quick. Among Us is the smash hit social deception multiplayer game finally making its way to both Xbox and PlayStation consoles this week. Among Us made a name for itself on PC, where players must save their spaceship by working together to complete random tasks around the level. The twist, of course, is that everyone is randomly and secretly assigned a role as either a crew member or an imposter. The imposter's job is to lie, sabotage, and secretly kill their way to victory. So you're left trying to wonder who is trying to betray the rest of the crew. It looks like a lot of fun. I think it's like $4 or $5 on every console. So if you have a couple of friends that you want to try this out with, it's cross-play with all the different platforms. Any version of the game you have, you can play with anybody else who has that version of the game on any platform or console. So go check out Among Us on all major consoles and PC. In TV, The Witcher Season 2 premieres on Netflix this Friday, December 17th. This show has been getting a lot of great press. Everyone loves it, from the critics to the fans. It's that high fantasy stuff that everybody enjoys now that, Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings made it super mainstream. Rich, I know you're into The Witcher, which always strikes me as odd that you're into it, and I never watched season 1.
Yeah, I'm not usually a big fan of high fantasy. But
this is pretty high fantasy.
But I feel like this show has a good blend of I love the Witcher character himself, just a strong badass, has these great one-liners and stuff. Has great situational, not comedy, but situational things that happen that are awkward or are funny. I don't know. I feel like there's more of a lighthearted side to this. It's not all just what did you call it just a couple minutes ago? Word splatter or something. What did you say? Word vomit?
Oh, proper noun vomit.
Yeah, when I watch Lord of the Rings, I feel like that's
proper noun
proper
vomit.
noun. I get lost.
For those uninitiated, proper noun vomit is when you launched into a series like Game of Thrones and they're like, the
Game of Thrones.
Lannisters out of Casterly Rock have invaded the North, which is the seat of power of Winterfell, housed by the Starks, and you have all these proper nouns, and new initiates to the series are like, what in the hell are you talking about? Who are these people? The Witcher was proper noun vomit for me, but...
Yeah, there's a little bit of it because it has to explain the universe, but there are moments in this show that are funny or embarrassing or cringeworthy or badassy because of the Witcher himself. So I don't know. I liked it. I was fine with it.
Okay. Well, if Rich likes it, it means it's good because he hates fantasy.
Yeah, usually I don't deal with fantasy.
Unless there's a lightsaber involved.
Space.
I hate to break it to you, Star Wars fans. It's a fantasy story.
But it's sci-fi.
But go check out The Witcher.
I like pew, pew, pew.
As long as there's a pew, pew.
Yeah.
Fantasy works for Rich.
Right, that's much better.
Has to be wrapped in sci-fi.
Yeah. And technology.
And technology, that's right. As long as the wizard has a cell phone.
That would have been better, yeah.
Gandalf just pulls out his phone. He's like, I'll just Uber you guys to Mordor. It's fine. Don't worry.
I got this.
But go check out The Witcher Season 2 premiering on Netflix this Friday. But let's cut to the chase, folks. There's only one entertainment release that matters this week, and that is, of course, Spider-Man No Way Home. Finally hitting theaters this Friday. Oh, my God. I cannot wait to see this movie. Critics are already reviewing it very favorably, with the movie earning early reviews at a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes with an average rating of 8 out of 10. Of course, this movie is, I think, not just personally, but I think for a lot of Marvel fans, a highly anticipated film because it's doing something that has previously not been attempted, where they're crossing over, not just with other movies in the universe with Doctor Strange, but they're also bringing in other universes into this universe, and they're kicking the doors down to the multiverse and bringing back past actors, past villains from previous Spider-Man franchises. You're essentially getting a greatest hits version of movie Spider-Man, from the Raimi universe to the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man universe to the Tom Holland universe, and hopefully beyond as well, teasing things that will happen in the future. So I am so thrilled to see this movie. I cannot wait to see it. There's no way it can possibly disappoint me. My hopes are that high.
Ooh.
If it disappoints me, I'm going to be devastated. I won't even come to the podcast the week after.
Wow. Okay, so if you want to put in your application to be the new Crispy Noodle co-host, let me know at Rich Liebig.
No, I think it'll be good. I think, despite all the hubbub and my hyperbole, I think it's going to be a legitimately good movie.
All right. So there you go. That's Mike's This Week in Entertainment. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I am looking forward to No Way Home. It does look like a fantastic movie. Reviews are coming in pretty solid as well, so it definitely is going to be the movie to watch before you get into all the Christmas nonsense.
That's right. And you know what? We're going to continue the Marvel movie theme here because it's appropriate that I mentioned that Spider-Man No Way Home is going to be good. Because most Marvel movies are pretty good. Like, I can count the number of quote-unquote bad Marvel movies on one hand, Black Widow. And somebody else thinks they're pretty good, too. Of course, Marvel studio head Kevin Feige. He thinks they're so good that they should win awards. And he has said recently in an interview with Hollywood Reporter that he believes there's a certain genre bias that is keeping MCU movies from winning major awards during awards season. And this is coming up, of course, because WandaVision has been nominated for plenty of awards, and Golden Globes were announced recently, and WandaVision has gotten a couple of nominations. Will it win? Probably not. Rich, do you agree or disagree with Kevin Feige that there's a certain genre bias? And before you answer, let me read his quote here from the interview. He said, quote, "I think we are always at a deficit because of the Marvel logo and because of genre bias that certainly exists. I just loved that for a shining moment there with Black Panther that was put aside and the work was recognized for the achievement that it was." So he's using Black Panther as an example of one of their MCU movies that sort of was able to transcend that a bit. But he says right there that they're at a natural deficit just because of the logo. They see the logo. Voters and critics are like, oh, superhero movie, childish stuff, comic books. Do you think that he makes a good case there?
Well, I mean, I think it's obvious that there is some sort of slant.
Oh, so it's not even a question for you. You think it's?
I mean, they just never get nominated unless there's some sort of extraordinary event tied to the superhero movie.
Which is why Black Panther was nominated.
Right. Or let's go back further to Dark Knight and Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
I mean, it was one thing that he did such a great job, but it was another thing that he died tragically so suddenly.
Right.
Like, that was a huge motivator to bump it up to the Academy Award and him winning for Best Supporting Actor.
I will say I can't think of another superhero movie that won a major, Oscar.
Yeah,
they may have won small ones for like graphics and, and sound and such.
It just doesn't happen. It's unfortunately, I hate to say it's just the way it is, and there's kind of nothing you can do about it. But I feel like the Academy Awards, that's kind of its natural slant, because that's not what they value. The Academy Awards, especially them, I'm really going after them, because I mean,
right.
Golden Globes, they have separate categories for comedy and drama, so there's a chance there that they can rise through the ranks there. But when it comes to like the Academy Awards, it's very difficult. I would give it like a 5% chance of it ever happening.
They're a very, am I allowed to say, circle jerky type type of industry.
Yeah, they want that's not the kind of movie that the voters of the Academy want. They prefer the high drama
cinema.
Yeah, they prefer the high drama, the high period pieces.
Oh my God! You slap a woman in a Victorian era dress, and it like immediately makes it up into the top half of the drama category.
Yeah, I mean it's just the it's just a different set of values. I mean, it's like it's funny though. You can't go the other way around. You can't be like, I want Shakespeare in Love to win the Saturn Award. Like, it just like like it does go. Like it's that kind of logic. It's different values that those awards place a premium.
I think that's
on.
a little unfair because the Saturn Awards, correct me if I'm wrong, I think they're specifically for sci-fi and fantasy.
Right. So it's like
they're for genre fiction. But this is the thing, this is supposed to be all movies, and you're basically eliminating a massive genre.
Yes.
I mean, because it's not just superhero movies. It's fantasy, it's sci-fi. Star Wars is number one. The only genre film that I can think of that won recently, you know exactly what I'm going to say, and it goes all the way back to 2003 or 4, is Lord of the Rings. But that's the only one in the past 20 years that I can think of.
Yeah, it just doesn't happen.
Like, I mean, you're talking about a 1 in 20 year type event, and I personally think that's unfair because I think some of these MCU movies, most of them are average, right? Some of them rise above that average threshold, but most of them are just a good popcorn flick, and there's nothing wrong with that. But certain movies like Black Panther really do show that there is another level there, that they can engage with subject matter that, should elevate it in the Academy's eyes. So while I agree with Kevin Feige, this is the plot twist here, I also agree that these movies they rarely reach that level. Most of them are filled with quips and one-liners, and they're very formulaic. Rarely do you see a movie rise above that.
Yeah.
Now, that isn't to say if I'm presented with Shakespeare in Love or Spider-Man No Way Home, I'm clearly seeing one of those movies multiple times in theaters, and it's not Shakespeare in Love.
Yeah, no. I just think that the bias is kind of built into the system, so it's very difficult to try and fight against it. So,
But do they... See, I think this is the interesting part because you'd think it'd be flipped, but here I am. I'm going to ask you, do any of them deserve it?
So
can you think of any MCU movie?
Can a Marvel movie actually contend for Best Picture?
I'm not saying can they. I'm saying can you think of one in the 27, 28 movie history that deserves it?
See that so that's gonna be tough because in order for me to answer that question, I think I would have to actually go back year to year and see what movies
were nominated that year. I'm sure there were probably down years,
right? Because that's the thing is there are definitely down years where you're like, what movie won? Roma? What the hell was that?
Yeah, did anybody watch that?
Yeah,
I think that viewership should be not a huge element, but I think art in general, if it's not viewed or consumed,
the artist, like I don't know anybody. That
don't even get me started on the artist.
I don't know anybody that watched that movie.
Yeah.
Like there are definitely some like down years or head scratching years that you're like, why is this movie
right
the cream of the crop?
Right.
So I think it depends, because you have those kind of years, and then you have years in the Academy where you're dealing with Goodfellas, Dances with Wolves, and The Godfather Part 3 all in 1 year. And you're like,
right.
What? Like,
I remember there was 1 year where it was like Up in the Air, District 9, Toy Story 3. There was like several major heavy hitters, and I don't remember what won that year, but yeah. There are those years where there's a lot of great movies, and there are years like The Artist or I can't remember the other one recently, that one that I disagreed with. Moon or something like that. Not
Moonlight?
Moonlight, yeah. I thought La La Land should have won it.
the infamous, yes, snafu. Yeah,
I know a lot of people don't like La La Land, but I think it was... Anyway.
Yeah,
there are certain movies that definitely draw the attention of the Academy, for better or for worse. And I guess my thing is, I agree with Kevin Feige, there definitely is a genre bias, but I also don't think that many of those movies rise to the occasion, as it were. I can think of maybe a handful. I think Civil War was interesting in its sort of commentary on politics.
Mm-hmm. That's funny. That was the first one I kind of thought of, too, that I thought if there's anyone that would have contended for a Best Picture, it probably would have been like a Civil War.
Civil War, definitely. I also think Black Panther, not only for, again, its nuanced approach to a very complicated topic, and one that didn't have a clear-cut wrong and right answer, not only that, but the history of having a cast that was completely people of color.
Yep.
Which is incredible, which is actually what sparked this, because people are wondering if Shang-Chi should be nominated. I think Shang-Chi's not as good as Black Panther, but that's another conversation. Another movie that I think Marvel may have deserved it, the first Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, completely flipped the history of Marvel on its head, and sort of how people approach action movies as well. I mean, that movie was so stylized, so perfectly paced, and the characters, the visuals, the soundtrack, I mean, everything just clicked with the first Guardians of the Galaxy. Those are the three that I would say deserve it, but that's 3 out of 20-some movies.
Yeah, that's not a good success rate.
I'm just saying, I agree there is a genre bias. I've always said there's a genre bias, and I hate it when people see a movie or TV show and they're like, oh, that's zombies, oh, that's schlock, or oh, that's, Game of Thrones, oh, that's schlock, or Star Wars, oh, it's just laser blasters and stuff like that, and they immediately write it off, and they're not even thinking about the amazing stories that are being told. But I also do think that in the case of Marvel specifically, many of them don't rise to the occasion. I think WandaVision does rise to the occasion. I think that should win awards.
I think Loki does, too. Loki was amazing.
Oh, Loki was fantastic, and how it handled like a multiversal plot line. And
that was I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, but with that, I think we got to wrap that up, because we are getting to the third and final portion of the show, where I got to share with you some crazy news that I found. It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
We've been talking about cool and its ramifications and how it applies to the hip scene. But maybe you could give us some examples now of the opposite of cool, uncool. Just exactly what is uncool?
My nipples look like milk duds.
Holy shnikes.
It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
It's not of this world. I don't know exactly what it is or what it's doing, but this is not human intelligence, okay? It's not human intelligence we're facing!
How you doing? Me? I'm doing great.
Mandada bastata. I don't make this stuff up.
I'll take a pound of nuts.
That's a lot of nuts! That'll be $4, baby! You want fries with that?
I seen the celery dance across the baseball fields.
You had me at meat tornado.
No, go past this. Past this part. In fact, never play this again.
Okay. What does that mean?
And now it's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
So sit back, get everything you need to get from the kitchen. Be sure and empty the bladders. Go to the bathroom, because you're in for hell, right?
So
the odd news. It's so good that my computer had to chime in the middle of that.
Are we rebooting the podcast?
No.
What's happening here with the computer?
We're A-okay.
Are all the updates installed?
Yeah, the updates are good to go.
Okay.
Ready to go.
I thought I did that because I was clicking around. I was like, oh no, did I just make a sound?
Nope, that was me.
No, that was Rich. But anyway,
damn Windows.
Damn Windows. It fits the theme of the odd news. You never know what's going to happen here in this segment. That's right. It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news. Here in this segment, Rich researches the news, he reads the news, and I react to the news. He finds the story, keeps it hidden from me, which ensures that my reactions are my genuine gut reactions to hearing this story for the very first time. I don't know what's about to happen. Rich doesn't know what's about to happen. You guys don't know what's about to happen. His computer doesn't know what's about to happen, because these stories always take us down wacky and wild paths, and I'm ready to get started. Where are we heading to first? Is it Florida?
Well, yeah, I looked into the computer, and the reason why the notification sound went off was because we're entering Florida airspace.
Now, who is this guy in Florida?
It's Florida, and they're crazy.
Yep, Florida time. We're back.
Oh, man.
Back into Florida.
That's why the computer was freaking out. They were like, we can't go back there.
Danger, help.
You are now entering Florida. Everybody just screams.
Are you sure?
Are you sure? Yeah.
Now, who is this guy in Florida?
It's Florida, and they're crazy.
It's like a real-life pop-up warning. Are you sure you want to continue?
That would be funny if you took an airplane or you drove through. Whenever you cross the Florida border, I don't know, like a notification comes up. Are you sure?
You type in like a Florida address in your GPS, and Google Maps is like question mark.
Yeah. Are you okay?
Do you really want to? Okay, I'll get you there.
Good luck.
So why is the technology afraid of Florida?
Yes. So we may be dealing here with one of the trashiest Florida women ever.
Oh, lovely.
Here in Florida.
Now, who is this guy in Florida?
So we're going to talk about the tale of 37-year-old Catherine Trammell.
Catherine Trammell, okay.
Yeah. We got a picture of her right there.
Yeah, she looks happy enough.
Yeah,
she's smiling, having a good time. Okay.
Okay. So here's the story. According to an arrest affidavit, Catherine Trammell and a boyfriend were asked to first leave the restaurant that they had been dining in after the two of them decided to do some, quote, erotic activity in the bathroom.
Oh, no.
Well, it was very erotic. Yes, indeed. It was erotic.
So
keep it in your pants, people.
So there you go. They're
doing
just
erotic.
right away going having some fun in the bathroom.
They're like, yes, we'd like to place a drink order and put in some appetizers. We both need to go to the bathroom real quick.
Actually, how about we're going to order our dinner right now, and then we'll meet you in like 10 minutes. And we expect the food to come out when we're done.
That's right, exactly.
We're going to be famished after what happens.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, it was very erotic. Yes, indeed. It was erotic.
Okay, so they were discovered in the bathroom. So that's when the manager at the bar asked them if they could leave.
Just knocks on the stall. Excuse me, could you please leave?
Well, apparently this wasn't enough for Trammell.
Oh, okay.
Because she was kicked out, and then sometime later, she came back into the same bar and restaurant, met another dude.
Wait, other than her boyfriend?
Yep. And this time returned back to the same bathroom.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, she is.
Wow.
She a lot of things happening here.
Well, it was very erotic. Yes, indeed. It was erotic.
And during this second trip into the bathroom, at some point, the male grabbed Catherine and placed her on top of the sink.
Okay.
When they started going at it on the sink, that's when they were going so hard, they broke the sink completely off the wall, flooding the bathroom.
God.
Well, it was very erotic. Yes, indeed. It was erotic.
Oh, my balls!
Yeah, I hope that porcelain didn't get near that area.
Oh, my balls!
This one, that's gross. Have you ever seen public bathrooms?
Yeah.
No, I don't. No.
No. I wouldn't want to take a seat on that.
I'm trying to spend as little time in public bathrooms as possible, and I'm certainly not being seated on things that I don't need to be seated on.
Yeah.
You know?
So... I mean, that's something you can't hide either.
No.
I mean, you're talking the sink is broken, the pipe's busted.
You walk out, you're sopping wet, you're still rock hard. I mean, there's... So after that, what do you don't... Yeah,
Take your damn clothes off.
I mean, you have to leave, right? There's just water, like, spewing everywhere.
Yeah, it's... you can't hide this situation.
No,
Take your damn clothes off.
But, man, I'll tell you what, she was... she wanted to have some fun.
Yeah, clearly.
So
she just found another random dude just like having dinner. He's just sitting there eating his, I don't know, mashed potatoes.
This is a bar and restaurant, so I assume at this point, now we're talking later into the night.
All right, so she's yeah, okay.
Now she's on the prowl.
See, in my mind, I'm envisioning like a Friendlies.
No,
and
this
she
is not
just
a Friendlies.
walks up to a dude having a meal with his family. Is like, you, me, bathroom, let's go.
No, that's more like
a seedy bar.
The bar's name is Irish 31. I don't know what
It sounds seedy. I don't know.
Is there Irish 1 to 30?
I'm gonna look it up. Irish 31.
Irish 31.
Wait, is this in Tampa?
This is it just says Florida here. Sure. If it comes up Tampa.
Oh wait, there's a lot of them. Oh wait, Irish 31 Pub and Eatery.
Seminole. Here it is. I got it. Seminole.
Oh, in Seminole. All right.
Yep.
Let me see. Let me see if I can actually find.
So while Mike is finding that, I'll just finish the story here. So cops were called by the manager, and that's when they took in Trammell. They estimated that she caused around $500 worth of damages between the sink breaking and the pipe being damaged. She has been charged with criminal mischief, according to police. She was released from the county jail after she posted bond. So there you go. I don't know why she had to go back into the same bathroom twice, but oof.
She just couldn't.
She
get
loves
enough.
that bathroom.
She really loves that bathroom. Yeah.
Well, it was very erotic. Yes, indeed. It was erotic.
You know, you could have gone to another bar. You could have gone, or maybe get a hotel room.
What is a boxty? Yes, you're right. You could have gone anywhere.
Yeah, and instead you went back to the same spot in the same bathroom.
Look, she went back to the scene of the crime. That's what's getting her off. Is she's like, you know, is being in that.
She just bangs there every like Thursday night.
Every once a week she goes there and she just preys on people just trying to eat their food.
This is my office.
This is my office. Come back into my office. That's awful.
Something else I always find weird is like if you're trying to bang your significant other in a bathroom. What happens if it's one, that's like boys and girls separated by gender?
Right. Single sex bathrooms.
How do you determine like
whose bathroom you go into?
Yeah, do we go into the girls' one and the guy is out of place, or you go in the guys' one and the girl's out of place?
That's a good question. How do people settle that? Do they like flip a coin? Do they just like? Does one person just make a concession? Like,
right. Who makes the concession? Is it like?
So here's what I'll say. I'll say this, and I'm not condoning this, but I think it's better if you do it in the men's bathroom.
You sure?
Yes, because if a woman ends up in the men's bathroom, everyone's like, "Ah, shucks, what are you doing here?" If a man ends up in a woman's bathroom,
yeah, it's a little more pervy.
All of a sudden, it's way more pervy. For right or wrong, it will be way more pervy if a man ends up in a woman's bathroom. And that's just a fact.
Yeah, that's probably true. Or how about just you go to a hotel room?
Or let's just do like normal Odd News people and do it on the lawn.
Yeah, do it on a lawn.
Or like in the back seat
do
of
it
the
on
car.
the concrete.
Like, do it on the concrete.
We had two people doing it on just right in broad daylight on the concrete.
I mean, people have done it in bushes, on golf courses, on the lawn, on the sidewalk. I mean, people just do it. I mean, there's not a single surface in the history of the earth that people have not done the deed on.
Right.
Maybe like inside an active volcano. That's pretty much
soon.
it. This is coming soon.
Coming soon. Now that you put that out there, it's going to happen.
Somebody out there is like, don't knock it till you try it, man.
Yeah. So there you go. That happened at Irish 31 in Seminole, Florida.
You know, I was gonna say like, oh, maybe it's like a CD bar or something, but it actually kind of looks kind of cool. And their menu, I don't know, it's they have their website's like all about the food. They're like food. So apparently, yeah, and it's not just like CD bar stuff. It seems like they really focus on the with a chef-driven menu.
Oh, all right.
Whatever
Is it every menu a chef-driven menu?
I don't know. This sounds like trying to be like needlessly fancier than it is. It's serving shepherd's pie. It's like a chef-driven menu. What does that even mean?
Yeah. All right. That's weird.
Yeah.
All right. You guys are weird down in Florida. I do have another odd news story here to mention real quick.
Oh, we got a bonus odd news story.
Yeah.
Bonus.
I don't know what the hell that was, but
Look, just accept it.
I'm gonna put that as a video game sounder or something. I don't know.
Bonus round.
Sure, there you go. For this one, going to Louisiana in this story.
Louisiana.
And I know you love some wacky excuses, so this one is going to be right up your alley. We're following the tale of 52-year-old Jesse Terry.
Okay.
One of those names that both of the names are first names. Jesse Terry.
That's true. Jesse Terry. Yeah.
Yep. So Terry was collared in Louisiana after police responded to a 911 call to the residence of a woman who reported that Terry got into her apartment by breaking open the back door.
Okay. Not good.
Yep. Not good there. Terry is a neighbor who lives nearby. When he broke into the back door, he screamed and said that, quote, "A big snake told me to come here."
Hey there, demons. It's me, your boy.
Yes, a
big snake.
Ah!
Not a medium or a small snake, but a big snake.
Yeah, this big snake.
Oh, man.
I have to come into this apartment right now.
So he's just strolling. What time of day is this? This is the middle of the night, isn't it?
Yes, this is this is 2 a.m.
2 a.m. So he's just strolling around at 2 a.m. and he happens to run into a snake. And instead of the snake slithering away or him running away, the snake, rears up and he's like, "Go in that apartment."
You need to go in that apartment.
Okay. My snake sounded like a sleazy thing. Yours sounded like Buckeye Chuck.
Whoa, hey, what? It's Buckeye Chuck. Uh-oh. Buckeye Chuck here. Buckeye Chuck is here. I'm a snake.
You're a snake now?
Yep.
Buckeye Chuck? I thought you were a beaver at one point.
I was. And then I switched interdimensional species.
You're in the multiverse too?
Shh. That's supposed to be revealed in Spider-Man No Way Home. Be
Oh,
quiet.
my God.
That's spoilers. Don't do that.
No, I won't. You're right. Sorry about that, Buckeye. So you're a snake
Buckeye
now.
Chuck here. Yep, I'm a snake.
And you told this man to go into this apartment. Why? Why would he go in there?
Look, that apartment looked very interesting. I wanted him to go out there. You need to go in, bust through that door.
That's right.
Very important.
That's right. To come back and report what he finds to you.
Yep. Very important.
Very interested in the goings on of that apartment.
Yes.
Of that house. Yeah.
I answered to interdimensional beings now. This is my life. I'm Buckeye Chuck.
Right.
I cross species. I cross timelines. I cross states.
That's amazing.
Yes.
You are a higher power.
Yes, that's me, Buckeye Chuck here. Buckeye Chuck. Go in that apartment.
Thank you for that, Buckeye Chuck. It was very informative yet not informative.
Yes. There you go. Lovely Buckeye Chuck. We haven't heard from him in a while.
No, we haven't.
Yep.
So this snake, who may or may not have been a beaver in a previous life,
yes,
tells this man to just break into this apartment.
Yes, this big snake allegedly told him to break the door and go into this apartment, according to Terry.
I just love this guy like getting down on the ground. He's like, "What's that, Mr. Snake? Break into the apartment? You got it."
Yep, you got it. That's right. So cops arrived quickly onto the scene and immediately arrested Jesse Terry. When they interrogated him back at the station, that's when he finally admitted after some time. So he stuck to this story for a little bit.
Wow.
He stuck by.
So
he stuck by the story that a snake told him to open
So wait,
the door.
was he, I'm assuming he was, but I like to imagine maybe he wasn't inebriated and this was just the best thing he could think of.
Well, apparently after some rounds of questioning, he admitted that earlier in the night he had smoked a big amount of crack.
Oh, well.
Me very, very mad. You eat the cheeseburger and smoke the crack?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Very simple answer.
Yeah, that's pretty cut and dry.
Yeah. This is Louisiana here. Yep.
Yeah,
So
probably the crack.
yeah, that's what did it.
Run while there's still time. Everyone is smoking crack. But it's only a matter of time before they're overwhelmed. Run when you can!
Yeah, so he ran right into the door of this apartment.
Yeah.
He was booked into the local jail on a charge of unauthorized entry of an inhabited dwelling. That is a felony, so unfortunately, he will
Even
have...
if a snake tells you?
Yes, even if a snake tells you.
Oh, my God.
Sorry, yeah, the snake argument doesn't hold up.
He should still try it in court and see what happens.
Yeah.
If he confuses everyone enough, they might just let him go.
Yeah. That's just...
A big snake.
Why can't they just say breaking and entering? Why do they got to go with... This is such a long
what is
charge.
it? Illegally or no?
Unauthorized entry of an inhabited dwelling.
Well, because you can have an unauthorized entry of an uninhabited dwelling. But why don't they just call it... Yeah, what's the difference between that and breaking and entering?
Yeah, they should have just went with breaking and entering. Much simpler.
Yeah. And no drug charges?
Wait a minute. What?
He just said, I smoked a whole bunch of crack.
All right, Louisiana, they don't care.
I swear, man, there's a part of the country that does not understand.
They don't care.
Nor try to understand the breaking of laws. Like, he's like, I smoked crack. And the cops are like, okay.
Yeah, we're not going to worry about that.
Is there just no other conversation or investigation? They're just like, okay. Like, it's just a fact. It's like, oh, he smoked the crack.
Maybe,
oh, well.
Maybe it would only be like a misdemeanor. Maybe that's why. Because they got him on a felony here. So maybe is there like different levels?
Maybe they don't feel like, yeah, I mean, maybe they're like, we already got him on. Yeah, but they always try to tack on charges. We know this from doing 8-9 years of this podcast.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess.
That's weird. They're just lazy. They're lazy in Louisiana.
Louisiana, I don't know. They're just, I don't know.
They're just, I don't know, which is
drugs,
the best description of the odd news people.
Drugs, go ahead. Have fun. But
just don't kill anyone.
Yeah, don't breaky, no breaky, no any.
That's exactly how the cop said it. Do the drugs, that's okay. No breaky, no empty.
Yeah, that's not good. No.
No.
We can't let you go on that.
Bad.
Yep. And
why are these cops like 7?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you're dealing with a guy who thinks he's talking to a snake.
That's
so
true. That's true. He's
that
like
sounds,
one step above imaginary friends.
Right. That does sound like a 7-year-old. But there you go. That's what I have for you this week in the non-fortune cookie odd news. And with that, man, already the show has come to an end.
Time flies when you're having fun.
That's right.
With the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
That's right. If you like what you heard, make sure you go to our website, thecrispynoodle.com. Make sure you follow us on all the social media, Hubbabaloo, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that fun social media stuff.
That's right. In addition to the Hubbabaloo, you can also subscribe to our channel on YouTube where you can find the video versions of this podcast. But remember, you can also get the audio version of the podcast as well on Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, and Amazon devices. So make sure you search for, download, and subscribe to the Crispy Noodle Podcast on either YouTube or the podcast service of your choice.
That's right. We also have a SoundCloud page where we got mini noodles. We have some highlights of past episodes from the Crispy Noodle archives. Make sure you check that out for a quick laugh.
That's right. So many ways to share and get in touch with the Crispy Noodle Podcast. But if you want to get in touch with us individually on Twitter to share your sports, entertainment, or odd news stories, you can find us there. I'm at Mikey Costanzo, MikeyCostanzo.
And I am at Rich Liebig, RichLiebig. You can find us on Twitter and tweet at us stories that you want us to talk about on the odd news, or next week it'll be around Christmas. At some point, we're gonna have to talk about Christmas movies again. So
yeah, send us your Christmas movies or non-Christmas movies.
Yeah, or do you have a separate criteria on what defines a Christmas movie?
We should come up with the Crispy Noodle Christmas criteria.
Whoa! Was that alliteration?
I love that.
There you go.
I am jazzed for next week.
All right, Mikey, don't move from the table then. But
Putting up a Christmas tree.
Yeah, over Christmas movies. Thank you guys for tuning in on this crazy episode of the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news. That will do it. We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys.
Later. Bye-bye, all you fine peoples.
Some of us have great stories, pretty stories that take place at lakes with boats and friends and noodle salad. A lot of people, that's their story. Good times, noodle salad.